Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. As we know, the Black Ops Cold War beta is now open to everyone on all platforms, so if you're on Xbox or PS4 or PC, you can download the game and try it out if you so please. And honestly, this weekend feels like a huge upgrade from the last one, at least in my own opinion. I will have a separate final beta thoughts video going up later, but because this version of the game offers so much more than before, including the brand new Fireteam mode, we actually learned a bit of new info about how Warzone could be getting changed in the coming months as it transitions into Cold War. We also unfortunately saw the hacker situation move on into this game, and we've got even more intel to cover as well. So as we go over everything today, if you guys enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. And of course, if you're new around here, we are getting super close to 600,000 subs. We are trying to hit that milestone before Cold War launches. So if you want to stay up to date with pretty much everything going on in Call of Duty, this is the best place to be. So feel free to subscribe and maybe even turn on those post notifications. Now, first and foremost, we actually got some very interesting news yesterday, kind of out of the blue. The Pawn Takes Pawn website was actually updated and we got a brand new tape called What You're Made Of, and I'll go ahead and play it out for you guys, and then we'll get into what exactly it means for Cold War.
You've been playing along quite nicely, though we're not here to be nice. Soon we'll see what you're made of, what you know, how you think. Your reflexes under pressure, hard judgment calls in the heat of battle. Decisions that could mean the difference between being killed or staying alive to see your family again.
A choice that my father got wrong.
So, long story short, this led us on a brand new path of puzzles that were solved by the community. I would say mainly geeky pastimes there, and this ended with us getting some brand new information on Russell Adler and the campaign, but also, because the Easter egg was completed, the beta was actually extended by an extra day as sort of a reward there. So now instead of it ending on Monday, the beta is going to come to a close on Tuesday the 20th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So we've got some extra time to try stuff out there. Anyways, without a doubt, one of the biggest conversations that's been going on ever since it was announced that Warzone was in fact going to be a part of Cold War is how exactly that's even going to happen. Obviously, Cold War and Modern Warfare are very, very different games developed by two different studios. So for the mode to transfer between the two titles, some things are going to be a bit different and obviously a bit weird depending on which studio you think does a better job. But here's the thing, as we talked about earlier on this week, the brand new Fireteam mode shares a few interesting ties to the Warzone mode, including the fact that the Fireteam maps are literally called Warzone maps in the files, and of course it shares some pretty similar mechanics as well, but they're not exactly one-to-one. They're actually a lot more of Treyarch style, I guess you could say. So let's start with the down system in Fireteam versus the down system in Warzone. In Warzone, when you get knocked, you're basically just lying on your back waiting to either be thirsted by teammate quickscopes or to be revived by a squad mate. You can't really do much outside of pinging enemies and just crawling around. Now, the down system in Fireteam is actually a lot more beneficial for any given team if you play it right. Instead of going down and laying on your back, you end up bleeding out in a third-person perspective and you can still crawl around. But the fact that you're in a third-person POV instead of a first-person POV means that you're able to actually use that to wall, which is essentially when you can hide behind an object but still see around it. So you can actually get a lot of extra information from that you wouldn't necessarily be able to get if it were Warzone. So it's very possible we see this change happen to the down system in Warzone, where it changes to what is essentially Treyarch style. Then another shared feature is that of vehicles and driving, but as I'm sure you guys found out rather quickly, these are not the same whatsoever. In Warzone, driving, at least on controller, is all done with the triggers, whereas driving in Fireteam is done with the thumbsticks. Personally, I prefer the Warzone driving much more. The Fireteam mechanics are actually the same from Blackouts, and that to me always felt really awkward, so this is what I'm hoping doesn't change. However, I assume it probably will if it's already in Fireteam, but this is another one that was potentially teased. Now, we also have armor in both modes, and we have a way to get extra armor in each mode as well. Obviously, in Warzone, we've got the satchels, and out of those, you can get up to 8 armor plates. However, in Fireteam, we've got the armor pouches, which allow you to hold up to 10 armor pieces. So I think this one all just comes down to a matter of preference. I would say it's actually reverse Charmin Ultra here. Less is not more, more is in fact more. Personally, I'm all for having the 10, mainly because I would say it probably increases my chances of being alive longer. Hopefully, I'm trying to get all the help I can get out here, but once again, this is a change that could be coming to what I guess we could call Warzone 2.0 for Cold War. Then the final thing I wanted to point out here is that of the doors. Of course, this is not something we have in multiplayer for Cold War. However, that said, there has been countless times where I've tried to open a door and I just end up running into it. The recording there was absolutely cut. You guys don't get to see those clips ever, but in Fireteam, doors do exist just like in Warzone. You can open them, you can close them, and curiously enough, you can actually blow them right off the hinges as well. That way players can't go run and hide behind them. I will also say the door mechanics with busting them open and whatnot is a lot less refined here in Fireteam. It is definitely way smoother in Warzone, so ideally that gets updated if the doors are going to be implemented into Warzone 2.0, which I'm sure they will be. But really, the big change here is going to be whether or not the doors are going to be able to be blown off, so Treyarch could be teasing that update through Fireteam as well. So, considering Fireteam's ties to Warzone as is, it is quite possible that we see a handful of adjustments made to some of the existing Warzone features come launch. But of course, as we do end up getting closer to launch, we should be getting some more information on how Warzone is going to work and all sorts of stuff like that. To be fair, I initially thought the pawn takes pawn stuff from earlier was actually going to be Warzone related. Alas, it was not, but we are going to have to keep our eyes out there. Now, on a slightly more unfortunate note, something else that stemmed from the open beta was, of course, the hacking and, I guess by association, the cheating as well. As we all know, over the past year, hacking in Call of Duty was pretty much skyrocketed thanks to Warzone being free to play. Even in multiplayer, there's quite a few cheaters too. I'm not sure why you'd spend money to buy the game and then cheat. That seems like a waste to me, but nonetheless, the hacking and the cheating has obviously been a massive topic in the community over the, past 11 months or so. And unfortunately, right as the PC beta opened up, it seems the hackers were essentially right on top of it, right? And I had seen stuff over on Twitter from the pre-order beta of players cheating with aimbots and all sorts of stuff like that, which at the very least is concerning, not to mention annoying. After seeing how much of an issue hacking has been over the past year, the fact that on day one of the PC beta, hacking is already showing up, that is not a great sign moving into the year ahead. Of course, Warzone is going to stay free, multiplayer is still going to be locked behind a paywall. However, without an anti-cheat or at least some kind of decent detection system in place, I've got a bad feeling that this is something that's going to, I guess, continue to plague the game over the course of the next year. But yeah, there you have it. That is effectively what we've got going on with the potential Warzone changes for the coming year, and some of what's going on with the beta as of right now. And that is going to wrap things up for today. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. And of course, if you're new around here, if you want to help us reach 600K before Black Ops Cold War releases, feel free to subscribe. That way you can stay up to date with the latest Call of Duty news, intel, updates, and basically everything else in between. Also, right now, Code WARZONE is actually going to get you 30% off your G Fuel order. So if you want to grab anything there, or if you want to try G Fuel for the first time, now is a fantastic time to do so. Code WARZONE has got you covered. But once again, thanks so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.